All right, here we go. So, how you guys doing? I hope everyone's doing well. I'm beginning this weekly series where I talk about how I'm doing with my business that I'm currently starting, how I'm doing with track as a Division I athlete, and then just general life updates so that you guys can continue to see the journey as I hopefully start my first profitable business and compete as a D1 athlete. And I just want to be very transparent and raw and uncut about it all. So to get started, I'll catch you guys up on what I've been working on up to this point. And first with the business, I have just been studying the specific marketing channel that I'm going to try to help businesses with through my marketing agency that I'm starting. And I won't say exactly what the channel is yet because I want to keep it quiet for now. I'll keep it hidden for competitive purposes, but I've gone through the learning modules that they have on their website and just learning as much as possible about this channel and how to run it for businesses. And then I'm doing all the certifications and exams for it. And then once I've learned how to run the channel and actually drive results for businesses, I'm going to begin to establish the workflows of onboarding clients and the workflows of the actual service fulfillment. Then once I have those done, I'm going to just probably begin just guerrilla outreaching to clients, potential clients through any channel possible. So whether that's cold call, cold email, Instagram DMs, LinkedIn messaging, whatever it takes, I'm just going to try to get my first client and then decide how I want to scale from there. Now the current question that I have is whether I should put those credentials up online or even include them in my sales materials in order to show to business owners that I'm qualified to run this marketing channel. But I think testimonials matter more. I mean, anyways, I'm gonna throw it up there and just have it just to have it. But on the side, I've also been thinking about what the name of the agency should be. And I know that's like stupid. A lot of entrepreneurs get caught up on that kind of stuff. Like, how should I name my thing? Just wasting too much time on that, right? But I want to get a cool name for it, I guess. So I'm thinking I could use my initials, like CC Media or CJC Media, or maybe name it after a family member or a friend or whatever. And then you could use like a Latin name or some cool thing like that. Or you look at any of these new tech companies, they have these crazy names, right? But I don't know, I'll have to just go with something that's unique and then stick with it and not give it too much thought, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much. It's funny though, because as I'm working on this, that doubt creeps into your head and you begin to question, oh, is this really gonna work? Will I be able to sell this service? Will I be able to make money with it? Or am I wasting my time? But you only find that out by trying it and actually doing it. You can't just make presumptions about it and never truly follow through, because then you're just gonna keep doing that with everything you do. And then you're never really gonna accomplish something, right? So do it. If it works, great, you succeeded. If it doesn't work, you learn and you pivot onto the next thing, right? So that's how I'm thinking about dealing with this doubt in my head with anything that I go about doing. Okay, on to track now. So I'll first tell you guys where I'm at with track and what's happening. So back in high school, I was recruited to Division I programs and D3 programs, but I decided to go to another university for academics and then walk on once I get there. And I had no problem walking on. I had the stats to do it. Now, I walked on last year, which was my second year in college, and I worked hard all year. It was the strongest I ever was or have been, and was throwing farther than I ever have and feeling great, like really pumped up to compete in college. And we get to the first meet at UConn, and on the very first throw, I have a great warm-up first of all, great warm-up throws, throwing far, but on the very first throw in competition, I go and I give it my all because I want to set the tone for what I'm going to bring to the table in competition with my coach and with my teammates and with my competitors. And I throw hard and I throw a PR, which is exactly what I wanted to do right out the gate, a personal record. But I also partially tear my elbow. So, and after that, the season was over. I couldn't throw anymore. So then I went through the process of doing all my rehab, and luckily I didn't have to go for surgery. I did rehab. So I rested from throwing, and then within that same summer last year, I got back to throwing, and then I built up from there this year. And now my goal this year is to, again, perform and throw a personal record right out the gate and build upon that throughout the season. And then when it comes time for our conference meet, score points at conference, and if I'm lucky enough, make it to regionals, right? Now, the problem in all this is the NCAA changed their rule. So track teams may be cutting in roster size in order to comply with the rule. I don't fully understand it, but essentially you gotta cut roster sizes. So there's a chance that if I don't compete, then I'm off the team next year. But if I do compete, then I can stay, obviously. But in all this, I have to worry about my elbow. Will I injure myself if I push myself to throw as far as possible and then track's over after that? So what I'm trying to explain here is there's two scenarios that can happen. Either I succeed and I throw far and I get onto the team for next year, or I injure myself in the process and I'm done with track. So hopefully if I'm healthy, I can continue to give you guys updates on how I'm performing. But if I'm not healthy, then track's over and it's on to the next thing. But then to round this weekly update off, this first episode of this series, I'll tell you about what I'm reading and learning besides that marketing skill. And that is the David Goggins book, Can't Hurt Me, and Peter Thiel's 0 to 1. And so with the Goggins book, I love the lessons in that book about mental callousing and strengthening yourself, your mind, in order to just keep pushing, keep cracking away at something until it's done. And then the Peter Thiel book has incredible lessons on business and entrepreneurship and finding a good idea that can be created into a durable monopoly to then sustain profits and grow profits for a while. So that's really it. It's just a game of balancing entrepreneurship, track as a Division I athlete, school, and just a general social life and living up here in Boston. So I'll keep you guys updated every week, and I think in the coming weeks, once I can get this agency launched and I can continue to do cooler things with this YouTube channel, I think some really cool things are gonna happen. So stick around and I'll see you guys soon.